It's past time o'clock for us to be crafting a better world. So let's dig into our tools and our project bags and see what meaning we can find to inspire us in the work of being, becoming, and braving a better world for all. Hello, we're still in a pandemic over here. Let's stay home and craft. It's strange that it took a pandemic to enable us, many of us, to remember that we like to bake and knit, garden and sew. Of course, some of us had newfound time on our hands and the surreal luxury to slow down, while all around us tragedy seemed to speed up. Getting in touch with your mortality can remind you of what being mortal is all about: connection, care, creating. But we humans have always been drawn to craft, to making, cooking, crocheting, quilting, scrapbooking, gardening, moving rooms around, building houses, planning parties and worship services, you name it. We like to make it. Even when we are in our digital realms, we Minecraft. The best realm in the world for a human of any age is a sandbox space, open-ended play space where we can make our reality out of what we find around us. Because crafting is playing, reimagining something into being, using what's available to us. It could be some old wool and wooden needles, or fancy pants yarn and addies. It could be a pantry full of tasty things in a stock pot. It could be some found objects or recyclables, or just a mound of dirt and some seeds. Maybe it was less about an increase in time that nudged our crafting identities, but more a deep need to transform something, anything, because the curtains covering the chaos of our deeply wounded world were being pulled back, torn asunder, and we did not like seeing what we were seeing, feeling what we were feeling. All the worse, still, as many of us realized what was behind the curtain had been there all along. And so while we took to the streets, the internet, the phone, the email, the voting booths, and every other possible avenue we could safely and not so safely take to make our outrage, grief, and disgust known, we also had to do some healing. The world out there was not wishing to change or be changed anytime soon, and we needed to see and know change. So we grabbed the yarn, the wooden spoon, the hammer, the shovel, the dirt, and we remembered ourselves. Remembered our ability to adapt and transform, to pick up tools and change things, to craft. Even as our crafting has sustained many of us through these difficult times, we have to return to the reality that inspired it. We must not forget that crafting is not just about physical things that we can touch and alter by using tools. Crafting is also about reimagining the world that we live in, the ways we connect as community, the ways we tend to one another. 2020 taught us a lot, and we are still recovering from all of that edumification. For many, 2020's teachings were not new, but long known, painfully lived truths. But what do we do with the knowledge, whether new or old, of a very broken world? We do what we humans do. have always done. We pick up the pieces and our tools and we craft something new. Craft something to keep our hands busy while we grieve or plot. Craft a new way of being in the world. Craft a way of being in the world that is more sustainable and equitable for all. We can craft alone or with a partner. When we can, I hope that we find ways to craft together in community, virtually until it is safe to be in person. Because crafting a better world is always done, better done, together.